Hey, what's happening, world? How are you doing tonight or today? Whenever you watch this video, might not be same time I'm doing it. I just got back from Las Vegas this morning actually. Um, Went down there, flew out for a workshop, this little study, and then taking a test to become a licensed sports nutritionist. So that was very exciting. Big shout out to AJ Roberts. And Jenny Roberts for with Valkyrie Athletics for putting on that. Um, and learned a lot and really helped prep me for the test and felt pretty good about it. So moving forward, I'm excited for the test results to come back in a couple weeks with that. So stay tuned. Um, lots of lots of nuggets, lots of news for you on the nutrition side of things coming up. So we'll definitely be diving into that. But tonight, just wanted to talk a little bit about. I've been putting out, or I've been thinking a lot lately of just looking lenses, right? Looking at everything as opportunity, as something to learn from. I was driving home last night. Um, it was kind of frustrating. The flight got delayed. It was supposed to leave at 10 and didn't end up flying out of Vegas until we didn't leave there until about 12:30, 12:45, and fly into Oakland. Get there about 2 o'clock. It's been raining a lot, so there was a big delay with all the incoming flights, and that pushes everything else back. So it's 2 o'clock. Then I've got a 30-minute wait on the shuttle to take me to my truck, and 2 hour drive home. Could have been shorter, but the weather, it was raining quite a bit, so it's not exactly ideal to be gunning it on the way home, right? And as I'm driving, trying to be considerate of just trying to be safe, really. I mean, you know, I want to get home quick because it's late. I just had a long weekend. I'm mentally drained, physically tired, physically drained, and all I want to do is sleep. I just want to get home. But I can't get home if I'm dead because you know, I'm flying and whatever, right? Because I'm driving too fast and not being cautious. So there's a lot of other people that are driving past me. They're whether they're being reckless or not doesn't matter, but it's the fact that I'm looking at them thinking, if they're driving that fast, then it's okay for me to drive that fast. And all these other thoughts come into my head, like, oh, I just want to get home. I got to get there, so I'll drive faster. And maybe in some places that's okay because whether, you know, it's not raining as much, the terrain, the road is a little bit better in some places than others, whatever. But the thing is that it doesn't matter what they're doing, right? That's the lesson here is it doesn't matter what these other people are doing. I don't have the tires on my truck that they do. I don't have the same driving experience that they do. I don't have the same vehicle that they do. I don't have all these other things that they do. I don't have to drive as far, or they don't have to drive as far as I do, whatever it is. There's so many factors that go into that. And it's easy to get caught up in if they can do it, I can too. So what could happen if I started pushing myself beyond my limits? Which that phrase right there itself, pushing yourself beyond your limits, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's encouraged in certain situations. But at the same time, like you've got to know what your limits are. And that's not one of those situations where you want to test the limits, right? So just how can you take that and apply it to your life and where you're at right now? That's the thing, is taking lessons, whether you're learning what to do or what not to do. Okay, you can always learn from somebody, even if it's what not to do in a certain situation. So that's what I really want you to start thinking about is we can get so caught up in our emotions and in the moment in something that we don't take into consideration our physical abilities, our training that's gotten us to the point where we are now. And we get in a reactive state. We get into just reacting to what the situation is. And again, sometimes that you have to react. But again, it's knowing yourself and knowing your limits and knowing what you can and can't do. And then from there, you can improve upon it. But at that particular point in time, it wasn't something that could be changed. So, say you're in a game situation, and you know that you can only throw a baseball so hard, but you've got a power hitter who hits fastballs pretty well. And the last hitter before that, you may have struck him out on a fastball. And the next guy up, right, he's a fastball hitter. Are you just going to keep challenging him with the fastball, even though your fastball might not, it's just mediocre? You don't have that blow him away kind of heat? Probably not. Can you change that in that moment? Nope. Sure as hell can't. You might be juiced up and be throwing a couple miles an hour faster than you usually do for that day. I don't know. That could be, but that doesn't mean that you're all of a sudden going to be throwing 5, 10 miles an hour harder, or that you're going to be that much better of a pitcher. Your abilities and your talent, your skill level, all of these things are only going to be at a certain level at that particular point in time. You can't jump and keep the same time level, and your skill level jumps at that same time level. You have to put in the work and to do those things. So that's just something that you really have to take into consideration, that you can't worry about the outside factors. You can't worry about what other people are doing, what they're saying, what they're thinking, what the situation is, what the weather is, this and that. It's about where you're at this point in time, and how can you maximize that? How can you do the best you can with what you already have? And I'm kind of going off on a little tangent here, so I'm just going to cut it off there. But that's what I really want you to think about for tonight, for today, whenever you see this, is being able to look at different situations, at different opportunities, and to not just react, to take a step back and be like more logical with things. And that's always going to be harder to do in a sports scenario when it's absolutely reactive. I mean, that's what sports is. It's 100% reactive, right? So that's that's why it's always good to reflect, look back. So that's my thoughts for the night. I'd love to hear some feedback on this, maybe some situations where you guys have had similar, not a similar, similar situation, similar thoughts, similar feelings, whatever it is. So comment below. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm putting out content every day. So just stay tuned for more. Lots of nutrition stuff coming up. And any requests on videos is always encouraged. I've got a shit ton of topics to talk about, lots of stuff to go into, but what do you want to know? What is it that I can help you with? That's what's going on here. So I don't do this for me, right? I'm doing this for you. Help spread my knowledge to help pass it on. If I can only help one person, hey, that's great. I'm just trying to just do what I can. So love you guys. Stay blessed. Thanks for checking in, and we'll talk to you soon.